Hello guys and welcome to the Bexhill FilmSpotters podcast. Today we'll be discussing and promoting our upcoming screening of Little Miss Sunshine at the Izzard Theatre at Bexhill College at 5:15pm on the 30th of November. Now in conjunction with our screening, we're offering free rainbow sweatbands for every ticket and running a raffle competition too. And the screening itself will be preceded by Lost Connections, which is a short film. Sana, what can you tell us about it?
Lost Connections is a 13-minute short film. It's made by archive footage from the past, and so it's not directly made from the idea of mental health, but it's been used in that way. And it's been described as a film about recovery, and although it takes place in the past as its reference point, the purpose of the project was to say something about our collective responsibility to build better futures. We might be feeling diminished by the pandemic, and there is much to reflect on, but there is also much to live for too. We wanted the film to honour these mixed feelings about our gradual reconnection with each other, our communities and the world around us, and that's from Dr. Emily Monroe. And so, obviously, when we think about our lives today, they've been hugely affected by the pandemic in terms of mental health. And that's what we wanted to highlight in this film, and do it in a subtle way and show that all throughout time mental health has been a big factor of people's lives, not just now.
And I think now more than ever it's really important to connect with those around us. I think human connection and the human condition sort of brings us together is probably the best solution and best antidote to isolation and loneliness. And that's really a topic of the film that we're screening as well, Little Miss Sunshine, which is absolutely brilliant. So what were your guys' first thoughts after viewing Little Miss Sunshine?
I really loved the film. I only watched it the other day for the first time, but it was just a really good film. I really enjoyed it.
I really liked the film. I think it was, I didn't expect it to be so uplifting because sort of the beginning themes were quite, dark in a way. A lot about mental health, obviously. But yeah, it was really good.
I think with those dark themes that you were saying, I think it's beautiful how you can start at that point and within the same film, you can also have such a beautiful and happy ending to it.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that you have that transition shows how you're never a lost cause to a certain extent. And even if you feel outcasted by society or that no one loves you, there's always a way back in.
Yeah, and also when they do start to heal from their issues of mental health, it's because they're connecting with each other in their family and opening up to each other.
Yeah, I watched this film when I was probably too young to watch it, and I haven't watched it since, but I remember it sticks out a lot. And yeah, as you were saying about just connecting with each other, and I think honesty is so key to how we communicate with each other.
You can only move through something if you're honest about it, and it's about realising what's gone wrong for you, but then pushing through that as well. And there's a theme within the film that the father feels that you're a loser if you show signs of weakness or you apologise, and it's about to actually be a winner you have to accept that you've lost first. And I think that's kind of the theme. And one of the motifs of the film is the whole family pushing this caravan because their coach goes and they're trying to get to this pageant on time. And I think it's a great metaphor that really captures the sense of if you're all pushing in the same direction, you can get there. I know it seems simple, but I think it's a really beautiful way of depicting that visually within the film.
And I also think it's really interesting that, obviously with the father saying about people being losers, and at the end of the film they sort of all end up being losers, but they're the happiest that they've been.
Exactly.
Obviously, I don't know how much I'm allowed to say, but everyone sort of has their own goals that they don't end up achieving, but they all get along the best that they ever have.
Yeah.
Yeah, about the loser thing, when I did my fun fact research, I found that the screenwriter Michael Ardent, I don't know how to say his last name, but he helped to write Toy Story 3 and Star Wars The Force Awakens, but I think he got the inspiration for the whole theme of kind of losers from, I think, a speech that he saw Arnold Schwarzenegger do about how he was saying, I hate losers, and just kind of stuff about losers and how they're like the worst thing to be, and kind of discussing success in life. And the screenwriter went away and he later did his own talk about how that he hated that attitude. And if we considered, you know, what the man said about like hating losers, all of us are losers in that sense. Like, how can we achieve success, and what is success, and fame and money, and how that's not really what makes you a winner.
Yeah, exactly, because the dad wants to pin success on something tangible, like a goal, setting a goal, and he has this, I think it's 9 steps to success, that if you follow that, you'll reach your goal. But that doesn't work, and success, I think, is finding happiness in your current situation rather than always striving to be better and meet this next target. So I think that's kind of the beauty of it as well.
And also with the father again, while we're watching the film, even though he's sort of the person that's like, you can't be a loser, and Olive is sort of supposed to be depicted as a loser, while you're watching it, you don't think that the dad's like cool or like interesting at all, but you know that Olive is going to achieve and be successful because of her attitude. So I think it's a good sort of representation of what like a winner really is, I think.
Definitely. And I don't think, although perhaps it seems like it doesn't conventionally fit into that family road trip kind of movie, even though it appears, I mean, from the trailer, or like you might think it is, there's a lot more to it than that, I think. Yeah.
Olive at the end is a big inspiration because she knows that she's not considered the most beautiful there by like standards, but she's just able to have fun and lighten up. And once again, it goes back to the point of like the most successful person not necessarily winning, but just being happiest. And I think that definitely, like with body image, that's what it's all about as well. Although you feel like you're not beautiful sometimes, just being able to be happy in your own skin and comfortable in it.
Yeah. The pageant, most of the girls I think that played the other little girls at the pageant were real life like contestants, I think, and they're all children. And the couple who directed it, the married couple, I think they traveled for about 3 months and attended a whole bunch of pageants to do research. So it's really interesting to see the real little girls in there who have been like contestants since they were infants. So that's really interesting.
And it's the pageants themselves, it's a strange sort of objectification or sexualization of
it's really uncomfortable.
It's really uncomfortable. Yeah. And the man there as well, who sings with them.
Exactly. I think, sorry, I was just saying, it really does push that narrative really well because, you know, Olive is so young and you see her like looking in the mirror and looking at her body, like she's sort of learnt to do that from such a young age, from like TV or wherever she's seen it. And yeah, as when we said before about how uncomfortable it is to see all the pageants, is because they're so young and they're not supposed to be even thinking about that. So yeah, I think it really highlights just how messed up like pageants are and just the standards, I think.
Yeah,
sure.
It's interesting that you said that thing about them being really young, and that's why it's really uncomfortable. And then it just made me think about how when we get older, like our age or even older, and especially like when women start to age, it's just the whole lifespan of beauty is really interesting. And even when we're older and have beauty pageants and stuff, it's so like we think, yeah, that's their own agency, but I don't know, it's interesting to think where those structures come from.
Yeah. And I think it's almost this idea that if you're not young, you're not beautiful in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, although the grandfather is a very interesting character, because although he's not a typical on the surface loving grandfather, he's got his faults definitely. I think he's beautiful in his own way, and the way that he interacts with Olive as well. He almost becomes a makeshift father figure to a certain extent, I would say, and fulfills her needs in ways that her real dad can't, I would say. But he's also very flawed, so it's problematic as well. And there's ways that he objectifies women as well. So yeah.
I think that is the point as well, that all the characters are flawed in some
definitely.
way, and that's just, you know, very realistic to life and very
Because it's not just like the beauty pageant that were like messed up about body image and stuff like that. You know, a certain scene where Olive wants to get ice cream and then saying that she shouldn't gain weight for the pageant. It's like everybody is sucked into it. It's not just like, you know, preying on little girls. It's like everyone sort of views it all in the same way.
Yeah. I quite like the fact that you can like see quite a clear turning point towards the end as well, where because she's asking the previous winner of another pageant, I think, like, do you eat ice cream? And it's like clear she brightens up, and towards the end as well, like when she's doing her whole dance, you can like see when she just like begins to let go and just be a kid, and it's like, I don't know, it's just
there's beauty
nice
in
to watch.
Yeah. And also like the inner kids in everyone
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Like
The scene where they're standing in line and two girls have a conversation with Olive about, I forgot, but it was just depiction of, you know, kind of like size of body and just what you look like in general, and you know, beauty standards. And I was just thinking in like little girls towards each other and women towards women, I think is something that we're taught to be more competitive around other women instead of, like a man, because I don't know, I feel like, I was just thinking about this earlier today, how a man is like never really in our realm, so we're kind of pit against each other as women.
definitely. And while there's also all of these serious themes, it's also a very fun and heartwarming film as well. And I think both are important to communicate, but we don't want you guys thinking that it's going to be a.
It does sound quite depressing.
Yeah, no.
It's really fun.
If you come to our screening, you'll have fun. We can guarantee that. In terms of the lighting in the film, Sarah, you had something interesting you want to say
it's
about that?
very light, very heartwarming, like you were saying. It does make you feel like happy at the end, and I think that's like thinking about the representation of mental health in film in general. Usually these films like that address mental health, you think of like Joker and that, they're very dark, very like dingy, and just make mental health seem like a kind of like in a negative way.
Yeah, kind of
But-
sadistic.
Like it's taboo or something, because like if you are mentally ill, it's like you're like the Joker, you're crazy. Yeah, instead of something that's just that everyday people deal with.
Yeah, but in this film it does it differently, because it's, you know, these very realistic people going through real things, and it makes it seem like mental health isn't just this taboo subject. It's like things that we all deal with.
Yeah, and it's every single one of them has, you can see it clear as day that they have, you know, they're just humans.
Yeah, and they all have something going on with them. And I think also one of the things with the taboo nature of mental health is people feel like they don't want to talk about it because they're going to make other people feel upset and be a burden on other people. And I think at the start, when the uncle comes to stay, he feels like he's being a burden on the whole family, but it's about working with people to overcome it, and the joy of, almost the joyous nature of overcoming it in a way, and how you can bounce off the other people and figure out your flaws together, sort of thing.
Yeah, I love the, what is it called? The
VW.
Yeah. They had a specific screening for VW Volkswagen. Is that right? Owners.
I think so.
Where it was just for people who had that kind of van, and they just did a specific screening for them. So that's super cute. Yeah, the mise en scene. I think the title of the film, Little Miss Sunshine, and the mise en scene, it's not, the thing is, the mise en scene, it's not like magical realism. It's not like manipulated into something unrealistic.
It's quite realist in a way.
Yeah, exactly. But it's not like gritty, and it's not like super, blurry. It's just really natural, but still naturally bright.
And there's no like specific colour scheme. It's very like put together, and I think that does reflect kind of the happiness of it,
Yeah, it's a lot of natural lighting as well.
Yeah.
Almost maybe metaphorically representing letting life back into your life. And I think the sunshine metaphor, although it's like the name of the winner of the pageant or whatever, I think it's more than just that. They've chosen it for a reason as the film's title. It's about, yes, Olive is a ray of sunshine, but about laying sunshine back into your life and finding your sunshine.
Can I ask what your favourite character was?
I think mine was Frank, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, kind of agree.
Yeah.
Mine's just Olive.
Yeah, I
think
was going to
she's
say Olive or
iconic.
Frank.
She's iconic.
I'm tempted to say the grandfather.
You can say it.
Yeah, the grandfather, because he is flawed, but there is even beauty within him.
Yeah.
So I think that about wraps it up for us. But just to remind you that we've got a screening of Little Miss Sunshine at the Izzard Theatre at Bexhill College on 5:15 on Tuesday the 30th of November. Thanks guys.